morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today as I embrace my new position, as I move from being a lawyer to be the CEO of Mindex. I've been a barrister for 19 years. Half of it, sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Half of it has been as a lawyer. And I think, I don't know, 8 years ago, I fell into blockchain and was completely obsessed by it. Went down that rabbit hole of reading anything I could find about it. So much so, when I came out of that rabbit hole 6 months after, I would talk about tokenization of assets to anyone who would want to hear about it. And I remember a very senior person at the FSC introduced me once as Jessica Token. And last year at the CRYPTOVERSE Summit, I talked about tokenizing Benito. And what a change from last year to this year. At the last summit, people were asking, what is an NFT? What is a fungible token? Today, during the break, 15 minutes, I was outside. I can see the biggest players in the market in the room. As Mindex moves into the infrastructure space, it is extremely important to have players in the market embracing this space. So I talk to compliance guys, to OMCs, to lawyers who are absolutely crucial. There will be more than enough work for everyone. I think it's incredible that we managed in a conference to have the regulators, the EDB, the private sector, the banks, the big players, the smaller ones, and we're talking together about making Mauritius the exchange space for Africa. I think before we spoke about it, but it's a bit difficult. When we are not connected to the continent, we're out of it. But today, I think with digital assets, it doesn't really matter whether we're in the continent, we're close enough, and we can be that exchange space for the African region. So, sorry about that. I think while talking, can you go to the beginning? All right. Okay. So I've been told today to have a bit of an easier role. So I don't have to advise anymore. I will have advisors helping us. We are the infrastructure space. So this is what I've been asked to talk about why Mindex is here. So I know there are a lot of international players also here and online. So I went through the basics also. The basics, why is Mauritius a good space? You know, we're the first country in Africa for good governance. We have a stable multi-party parliamentary democracy, clear constitutional separation of powers, a great bilingual workforce, really bilingual. We've got one of the most well-developed infrastructure in Africa. So, you know, mobile payment, mobile money is already here, well established. And we were voted fourth best country in the world for remote working. This is absolutely crucial when we're moving into a space where you're going to buy, you're going to sell services and products online. Again, the more traditional, sorry, we're a fintech company, but the fintech stuff not working so well, but you know, a strong financial policies framework. So 29 investment promotion protection agreements, very straightforward tax system, extensive network of double taxation, no exchange control provisions, 19 international banks, and a very well-developed legal and accounting. So ACCA being here, many, many lawyers being here is testament to this. I think what tips the balance for us now is that we meet substantially, is what the word is being used, all of the FATF recommendations. Why is that crucial? I mean, there are countries in Africa at the moment being grey listed. We now become the possibility of becoming the pump, the heart, becoming the liquidity center for the region. So just going to go back a little bit in the lawyer thing because I can't really get out of it. Why am I so excited about doing fintech here? It's because the law is super clear. So, you know, the ICO thing was an attempt to get around IPOs and STOs. So people trying to not do securities law because it's complicated. But in Mauritius now, as the CEO of the FSC said before, you cannot do unregulated crypto. If you are doing securities listing as an STO, so security token offering, you will fall under securities law, simple. Obviously, there are some ironing out that needs to happen. I think Ashin Gopi talked about that, but they are just ironing out. And the way that the space is progressing is that there is just huge collaboration between operators, the FSC, the EDB as well, that will allow us to find solutions and ironing out problems quickly. Now, if you're not a security, you fall into the ITO. So if you're tokenizing a contract or anything else, you're an ITO. So you can't do playing around anymore. That's the message in Mauritius. Everything is regulated. So you have your regulated players in between, like your soldiers, your custodian, your broker-dealer, your marketplace. So they're the ones that stand between the asset that is digitalized and tokenized and the end user. And that, I think, is the best way, because it allows the regulators to choose the best players to create a safer environment for end users, for market players, and for everyone. So when the regulators, that is my experience, when the regulators are looking at licensing VASPs, the virtual asset service providers, they're looking at many things. The people, the business, the tech, the compliance. What is the business trying to do? And I think that's the right way to look at it, looking at this. It's a holistic approach. Why do I say it is good to be here? Because it is clear. What is happening outside of here, an example is the SEC. So the SEC is refusing to define a digital asset because they say securities law covers it. But the truth is it doesn't really, because a lot of crypto exchanges have come in, operated, and not complied with securities law. But what is the regulator doing? The regulator is sanctioning post-event. So do your business, and then the sanction comes. And the hot seat of the CEO is very clear. So when they're going after the companies, they're going after the CEOs as well. So we've seen this in this April, in this March 2023, similar. So platform Bexy, SEC filed charges against them. Now, we mustn't forget that the end users pay when something like this happens. Everybody pays. You know, it's exchanges overnight going offline. I think that's another interesting one with the NFT platform Top Shot. And it's the same thing. The argument was raised that the NFTs fractionalized, behaved as securities, and therefore should be treated as a security. The point of me raising this is just saying the fact that Mauritius has chosen to be fully regulated brings that certainty. I talk about this also, similar kind of, it's an older matter, but it was an OpenSea matter. So OpenSea platform selling art, nothing to do with securities. And the SEC applied insider trading. Crazy, right? So they're fitting everything in the securities, and it's very scary. So I think VARA a couple of weeks ago, again, sanction and exchange. I think here, the slate is quite clean. Mauritius was against crypto before, now welcoming it. So we have a clean slate, and the regulators and the government is saying everything's going to be regulated. So I think there is going to be a play of decentralized, unregulated crypto and a regulated one. But Mauritius is a place where Mauritians respect the authorities, the institutions, and therefore I think it's the right place to develop the regulated crypto ecosystem before the whole world joins this play. This is what Mindex is. So Mindex has 3 licenses currently. So a securities exchange license, a digital custodian, CDS, so clearing, settlement, and depository. So we, been told we can say, so we've also got an in-principle approval for a crypto exchange. What we wanted to create is an ecosystem where you don't have to fit the ecosystem. You can look at your problem and you can decide what is the best thing for you to do. Is it a securities? Then it's an STO. Is it a contract you want to list that doesn't fall into the definition of securities? Then it's an ITO. But it's everything regulated, and you can play within to find the best solution to capital raise for your project, whether it is here in Africa or beyond, who knows. But what we thought is, what if we had the best quality products in the region, listed, fractionalized, traded 24/7? So what it means is taking all the advantages of a crypto exchange as we know it, retail, 24/7, really quick, and bring that to a securities exchange, but have all the protection. So anything that is good, we keep the laws, the regulators, the comfort that this brings to investors and issuers alike. What if we could combine both of these? And that's what Mindex has been fighting for a long time. And now we're really excited that we're actually live and we've got a couple of listings coming. And now you can see it's not just, innovative, it's real. And I say this, I think Mauritius is taking the right decision to go fully regulated. I really believe the world will go regulated, especially for larger plays, larger transactions. I mean, we see gaming companies at the moment. I mean, my kids are obsessed with Fortnite and the like. And if you look at the volume of crypto trades, even in those games, it is very risky if all of this is unregulated because it's real money. So as Mauritius piggybacks on a trusted regulator's law and legal system, a tried and tested financial system with, trusted and tried and tested investment advisors, broker dealers, with an innovative ecosystem that focuses on cybersecurity, best tech. So when I say best tech, we don't have the best tech now because it's going to be totally different in a couple of months. The thing moves so fast that you've got to move with it. So some people were asking me today, what is your tech? Can we see? The point is we are a financial services, legal, strong company using tech to facilitate, to automate, to streamline, to increase efficiency and reduce cost, to address a market that we believe needs it. We partner with players like, the Big Four, the insurer, ASR. So ASR is a reinsurer that came in the market and they're building infrastructure. They're headquartered here. So them insuring our assets will make the products that we create stronger, better, easier to raise on. So when you have a company that we are using, that we can invest in because it's fractionalized and easy to buy, it's going to make that initial layer of investment easier for Africans to invest in their African assets and for foreigners also to invest more securely in assets that will allow development of our infrastructure and creating for individual people, not just money, but wealth. That is the vision of Mindex. I'm really happy to be here. I'm open to discussing with anyone who would like to partner or work with us. Thank you very much for your time.